This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.
Hi, I'm Nick Saletti here with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. We could find out today if Phoenix will reopen libraries. The Phoenix City Council will look at the phased reopening of the city's public libraries that closed to in-person visits 13 months ago. Some libraries, including the Burton Bar one, could open their buildings for set hours 6 days a week as early as April 19th. The vaccination efforts in Arizona are growing this morning. Right now, more than 3.7 million vaccines have been distributed. Now there's a new initiative to get vaccines to people with disabilities. The state partnering with organizations like Passport Health, Commission for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, and the Special Olympics to hold on-site events as well as to get vaccines to people who are homebound. Big news for graduating seniors at the University of Arizona. They're announcing guests will be allowed at graduation ceremonies next month. Graduates can have up to 4 guests for the smaller ceremonies. Students, faculty, and staff will be required to have negative COVID tests, but guests will not be required to have a test or proof of vaccination. They will be asked to fill out a well check, a questionnaire designed to identify symptoms. California preparing to fully reopen. The governor there announcing a date of June 15th as long as vaccines remain readily available and hospitalizations stay low. The mask mandate will stay in place. The pandemic putting so many businesses on the verge of bankruptcy. The tsunami of bankruptcy filings only expected to get worse as the pandemic aid starts to wind down. Lawyers tell us the first wave is usually businesses and then individuals. Robert McDowell, who owns the Canyon's End Motel right by the Grand Canyon, is one of many having to make the tough decision to file for bankruptcy. His motel had been booked out 9 months in advance. But then in March of last year, life as he knew it came to a stop.
Bankruptcy was the last resort, but and there's all kinds of embarrassment and stigma that can go with that.
It's not uncommon for people to cry in my office because of the dismay they're going through. And as they're leaving, it's nice to have a smile on their face because they see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel and they'll be able to make it.
Yeah, it's to no fault of their own as well. We feel for them. So what is the attorney feeling hopeful this morning? Well, it's thanks to a new law called Chapter 5, meaning small business owners can now delay paying off their debts as they get their finances in order, while still being able to hold on to all of their assets. Right now, anyone 16 and older is eligible for a COVID shot in Arizona. Since the vaccine rollout, CVS and Walgreens have been a big part of the efforts to provide shots. And as the U.S. prepares to open eligibility in less than 2 weeks, Walgreens will have vaccines at more than 9,000 locations, the company offering all 3 types of the vaccine.
Still not possible to choose which vaccine you're going to get. In fact, my advice is once you're eligible, that you should get whatever vaccine is available to you. All of them have been found to be safe and effective, and so it really comes down to getting the one that is available.
Now they're suggesting you schedule your appointment in advance. Starbucks is trying something new to cut back on those single-use cups. It's launching a Borrow a Cup program, which allows customers to use a reusable cup for a $1 deposit. When the cup is returned, they get the deposit back plus 10 rewards points. The cup is then professionally sterilized so it can be used again. Starbucks says each reusable cup replaces 30 disposable ones.
Time to have that most accurate forecast. I'm meteorologist Iris Hermosillo. It's going to be a warm one again. The 90s are not going away anytime soon. Look for a high of 92 degrees today in Phoenix, nearly 10 degrees above the average high for this time of year. Sunny today, lighter winds today too across the valley. Still breezy up north, although the wind's backing off in comparison to what we dealt with yesterday in parts of Arizona. Highs in the 60s and 70s today across that northern half of our state. 67 for Flagstaff. We'll make it to 75 in Prescott and 92 here in Phoenix. And then tomorrow still in the 90s. In fact, we're going to keep the 90s around through the weekend into next week too. Winds will start to pick up tomorrow though. Today you'll notice winds not too strong, but as we go into tomorrow, it gets breezy to windy again across the state, including here in the valley. Those winds picking up as we track a disturbance that'll pass by to our north. No rain, no snow, but it will bring those winds. Temperatures will stay in the low 90s today and tomorrow, then into the mid 90s Friday, Saturday, more 90s heading into next week.
For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, go to abc15.com or just download our free ABC15 mobile app.
This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.